It's day one of the Inside Out Challenge. My name is Nzingah. I am a 500-hour experienced yoga teacher, and I'm currently in my Pilates comprehensive training towards the end, and it's been an exciting journey. I'm an apprentice currently. So today's first exercise is the 100, and the 100 is a wonderful exercise in that it is a way to warm up the body. We also consider this to be a breathing exercise, and you're gonna see what I mean a little bit later if you've not done 100 before. And some of the purposes here is to increase your abdominal strength, to find stability in your torso as well as your low back, and also learn how to lift your head up through your abdominals rather than straining through your upper back and through your neck, okay? So those are the basic whys for it. It's also a great way for us to warm up our bodies for the practice. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find your mat. When it comes to Pilates, the mat that you want, if you're gonna use a traditional yoga mat, you want to explore having something that's 6 millimeters or a little bit thicker. And I also like mats that are a little bit more dense. And so two of the companies I like that have that kind of texture to their mat would be Stack It. I'll put the link in the bio, as well as Gaiam. And those mats to me resonate a little bit better than a traditional yoga mat because they have a slight stiffness to them, but they're not hard. And so let's meet on our back. So here we go. You're going to roll to your back and the way that resonates with you the most. You can keep your knees bent here or extend those legs out, whatever resonates with you here. And just take a moment to settle in the space, closing your eyes, and just notice how you feel. Noticing how you feel in your body. Finding those sweet edges that feel really good and open today. And then notice how you feel and your thoughts. Take a few more breaths here. Noticing the places that are calling for kindness and compassion, grace. And set an intention for today's class. Okay, our first exercise that we're going to focus on is our diaphragmatic breathing, so our belly breath. So you want to think about as you inhale, lifting your belly up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, slightly drawing that belly back in. So, and our Pilates breath is in through the nose, out through the mouth. So you want to think about inhale, you're filling a balloon up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, it back out. So we're going to do that a few more times. When you think about the exhale, I want you to think about it from this perspective. It's like the hard side of a hush. So in through the nose, in and out through the mouth. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out through the mouth for 4. Inhale. Belly lifts, exhale. Feel that belly drawing back in. Inhale. Two more times just like that. Inhale, belly reaches towards the ceiling. Can you get some more air in there? And then on your exhale, pull it back in. Navel to spine. One more time, inhale. And then exhale. Okay, great. So now we're going to work on a different type of breath with that diaphragmatic breathing. This is the breath that we can use when we're doing a Pilates practice where we don't need to hold abdominal engagement, but oftentimes we are calling for you to keep those abdominals engaged. And so we have to learn how to send that breath up a little bit higher. And so that's where we get to do this rib breathing. So you want to place your hands around your ribs. And on your inhale, can you breathe into your hands and feel those ribs expanding, and also sending that breath into your low back. So think about like an umbrella opening up here, inhale. And then on your exhale, can you pull those ribs back in? Got it? All right, let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. Pulling those ribs apart, opening up that umbrella. Exhale. Wrap those ribs back in. Inhale. Sending that breath a little bit higher so you can feel that expansion through your ribs. There you go. And then exhale, wrap it back in. 2 more times, pressing into your hands through your breath by expanding those ribs, and then exhale it out back out. Now, can you do that without having your hands placed there? Inhale, ribs expand, open up the umbrella. Exhale, close the umbrella. Inhale, open up the umbrella. Exhale, close the umbrella. One more time, inhale. Exhale. So we're gonna combine our belly breath with our rib breath, okay? And so what we're gonna do here is we're going to inhale, belly inflates with air. Exhale, pull the belly back in, hold that engagement through your abdominals, and then on your inhale, open up the umbrella. On your exhale, close the umbrella. Now belly lifts back up. Inhale. Exhale, pull the abdominals in. Keep the abdominals engaged. Inhale, send the breath through the ribs. Exhale. Close the umbrella. So let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, belly lifts. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale. Open up the umbrella, ribs come out. Exhale. Pull those ribs back in. Let's do that 1 more time. I'm just going to breathe with you instead of cueing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open up the umbrella. Exhale, close the umbrella. Inhale, belly lifts. Exhale, belly engages, abdominals engage back down. Inhale, umbrella opens. Exhale, and then let it go. So your homework is to do that in the morning and afternoon. So from here, we're gonna do what's called pelvic clocks. So you wanna think about your leg placement a little bit more intentional here. So you wanna dig into your hip crease a little bit and find your bony part of your hips. Like there's a part of your hips that are going to poke out, and you're going to bring your knees like inside of that. When we say hip distance apart, we're looking for what we call our ASIS to bring our knees in that place. Now our pelvis is here, and for pelvic clocks, we're going to start with a tilt back and forth from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So when you think about 12 o'clock, you want to scoop like you have some ice cream and you're pulling it towards you, or you're pulling your pubic bone towards your face, and then you're going to unscoop and you're going to pull your pubic bone away from you. Think about creating a mouse house between your low back and the mat. And then you're going to scoop on your exhale, you know, pulling the pubic bone towards you, and that's going to bring that low back towards the ground. And then you're going to unscoop on your inhale, and you're going to find that mouse house, that gap between the low back here. So exhale, scoop, 12 o'clock. Inhale, unscoop, 6 o'clock. Shh. Let's do that a few more times. Scoop, mouse house is gone, low back is closer to the ground. And then on your inhale, you're gonna tilt that pelvis away from your face, finding that mouse house. Let's do that a couple more times. Exhale, shh. Inhale. Exhale, shh. Inhale. 2 more times. Exhale, shh. Inhale, shh. Exhale, shh. Inhale. Now we're going to go from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So you're going to shift slightly to the right and to the left, to the right and to the left, to the right, to the left. So the movement is very slight. It's just a slight movement shifting your weight into that right side of your pelvis, and then come back to center and then shift to the left. So exhale to the right, shh. Come back to center on your inhale, exhale to the left. And do that a few more times. So you want to think about keeping your knees up towards the ceiling here, and just go back and forth a few more times. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do pelvic. We're gonna go pelvic circles. You're gonna scoop, go to 12, go to 6, go to 9, go to 12, go to 3, go to 6, go to 9, and then let's do that again. So scoop, exhale, inhale, drop it to the right. Exhale, find your 6 o'clock. So you're finding the pelvis going away from you. You found that mouse house, and then you're gonna shift the weight to your left, and then you're gonna scoop it back in. Got it? All right, let's do it again. So shift to the right, pull the pubic bone away from you, so now you're on your 6 o'clock. Shift to the left, and pubic bone comes back to you. So 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. Reverse it. 9, 6, 3, 12. 9, 6, 3, 12. 9, 6, 3, 12. And then can you make some circles here with your pelvis? Almost like a wine. Inhaling and then exhaling. Shh. And can you reverse it out? Shh. Shh. And then release it. Good job. So why are we doing these pelvic clocks? It's a great way for us to find our pelvis. And throughout this series, you'll notice that there are places where we're actually shifting our pelvis to help us move through. Now, oftentimes here, we're also trying to find our neutral, and neutral can feel a little daunting for different people. When I say neutral, like a neutral spine. And so for some of us, we're gonna roll up to the side and then lift up. We might need to bring a towel into this conversation to give us a supported neutral or even a rolled mat. So you're gonna come to your back. If you have a slight mouse house in your natural position here, especially when your legs are extended out, like myself, I can like naturally bring my hands underneath here. You wanna think about bringing in a mat or spine or mat or towel that's rolled up to support your low back, and that'll give you a supported neutral. Another way you can think about it is to slightly bring the back into the ground to find your neutral there, okay? So again, sort of like going into that 12 o'clock position to find that neutral. And so throughout this practice, I'll talk about how to find that. So again, my preference is to have this here, and it just gives me a little bit more love, all right? Okay, so here we are. We're gonna get started with our marching. So you can keep the supported neutral. If that doesn't resonate with you, you can take that away and then find your neutral by just pulling the low back towards the ground, but not creating any tension there. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring that right leg up and stack it right over your knee and then switch. All right. And then exhale, bring that left leg up. And on your inhale, drop that leg down. Exhale. Shh. And then inhale. And then bring it back up. So that's the exercise, but let's be intentional with it. We're going to start with that special setup through our abdominals. So inhale, belly lifts. Exhale. Shh. Slightly draw the belly in. All right. Find your neutral. And then on your next exhale, bring that right leg up. Shh. And left leg. Shh. So you keep that abdominal engagement as you're lifting that leg up, and just take it nice and easy. Shh. For 4. Shh. 3. Shh. 2. Shh. 1. Shh. Next time you're going to keep that right leg up. Shh. And then point the toe out, and then bring that left leg up. Shh. And notice how it feels there. Hold for 5. Shh. 4. Shh. 3. What's happening with your shoulders? Keeping them away from your ears. 2. Shh. 1. Toe taps, right foot taps down. Shh. Come back to center. Now this one is tricky because you're going to want to bend your knees to bring that leg down, but can you keep your legs just as they are in that 90 and move right here from your hip flexors? You got 4, shh, 4, shh, 3, shh. I'm really feeling this. 3, if you're doing it right, you're going to feel it, okay? So again, 2, shh, not doing this. We're staying here. We're moving here. So maybe you have to touch your hip flexors. 1 more, shh, 1, shh. And then we're going to go both feet at the same time. Tap, shh. Maybe you don't go as far down as you think because you're losing that connection through your low back. Your back starts to pop or your abdominals start to pop. So let's reset. Drop it back down. All right. Okay. Inhale. Abdominals reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Start to slightly kiss your abdominals kiss your bladder with your abdominals. And then scoop, come to 12 o'clock. Bring that right leg up. Shh. Bring that left leg up. Shh. And then both legs drop down. Tap. Shh. 1. Shh. Exhale it down. Shh. Inhale it back up. 3. Shh. 2. Shh. And 1. Shh. Come back to center. Bring the feet down and relax it out. All of this is our pre-Pilates work for that 100. All right. Now, part of the 100 is bringing the legs up and to that dead bug position and then extending it out. So we're going to go there. So you're going to keep this leg. You're going to reset. Abdominals reach towards the ceiling and then slightly bring it in. Not so tight where you're like trying to hold yourself for a picture, but think about like slight kiss of the abdominals. Right leg lifts, left leg lifts. Shh. And then you're going to extend those legs out for 5. Inhale, come back in. Shh. Extend it out for 4. Inhale, come back in. 3. Shh. Or it can go straight up towards the ceiling if that feels better for you. 2. Shh. And 1. Shh. All right. And then bring the legs back down. And release the hands behind your head. Opening up those elbows, we're going to do some abdominal curls. So you're going to lift the head up slightly and then bring your hands to come to the back of your come to the back of your head. So, okay, you're going to lift the head up slightly, bring your hands with you, press your hands into your head, into your hands, and then find your abdominal curls. And then let it go. All right. So on your inhale, lift up slightly, bring the hands up, and then fold from your lower ribs to find your abdominal curl. We got 3 more like that. Inhale, exhale, shh. Bringing the edges of the lower shoulders all the way up. All right. Inhale, exhale, shh. And then instead of dropping your chin into your chest, can you act like there's something in between your chin and your chest and you're holding that apple or an orange nice and safe without collapsing your chin into your chest? Can you give me one more like that? Inhale, exhale, shh. and then let it go. All right. So now we're going to add our arms into the mix. You're going to reach those fingertips towards the ceiling. You're going to go up and down for 5. 4, we call these puppet arms. 3 is to pull the shoulder blades apart and then pop it back down, back down. 2, 1, and you're going to press the hands next to the hips. And on your inhale, lift it back up. And on your exhale, bring your hands next to your hips. On your inhale, lift it back up. You got 2 more just like that. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. This time on your next inhale, keep the arms lifted, pull the fingertips towards the ceiling, slightly lift the head up, and on your exhale, do like we just did with our abdominals curl. Lift up and over, and then let it go. You got 3 more just like that. Pull the fingertips away from you, head slightly lift, and on your next exhale, lift up and over, looking towards your abdominals. And then let it go. Press the hands back down to the ground. Inhale the hands up. Lift the head up slightly. On your next exhale, lift up and over, bringing your hands next to the hips. Can you stay right here for 5? Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. And bring the hands down to sides and let it go. All right. So we're going to add a little arm lifts here, up and down in that lift. So inhale the hands up, head slightly lifts. Exhale, curl up and over, hands next to the hips. You're going to inhale the arms up for 1. Exhale them back down. Act like you're pressing through jello. Inhale, pulling those fingertips away from you. Exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Can you lift up just a little bit higher? Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And then let it go. All right. Here we go. So you have the option to keep the legs down right here, or you're going to bring your legs into dead bug. So let's put it all together. Inhale, abdominals lift up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull the abdominals towards the spine, just slightly kissing the bladder. Inhale the hands up. And on your next exhale, curl the shoulders up and over. You can stay here, or you can bring the right leg up and then the left leg up. And we're going to pump those arms up and down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the shoulders, hands drop down. Right foot drops down. Left foot drops down. And let it go. Now, Joseph Pilates said in Return to Life that when you first do your 100, that's where you stop. Just try 20. I'm going to do another 20. You're either going to stay in that dead bug position, or you're going to shoot those legs out. And then then that's going to be it for today for our 100. All right. So let's reset. Abdominals lift. Exhale, pull the abdominals in. Find your neutral. Bring that right leg up. Bring that left leg up. Maybe you find a Pilates V so your heels touch and your toes flare out. Inhale the hands up. On your exhale, curl up and over. And you can start to stare. You're going to stay here, keeping those heels kissed, or you're going to shoot those legs out, kissing those legs together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let it go. Bring the knees back in towards you if they weren't already. Bring the shoulder, head, and neck down with the arms. Right leg drops, left leg drops, and windshield wipe the legs side to side. Okay? All right. So that was our 100. We'll talk about in a short what the full expression of that exercise is, but that was our work today. Breaking down the 100, putting the parts together so that we can feel stronger in our engagement and our connection to the exercise. So how was that? And I'll see you on day 2 for our Inside Out Challenge. See you soon.